terrorists, but there can be exceptions. Over time, the terrorist activities in Northern Ireland led towards successful peace talks. The violence has virtually ended since the IRA disarmed in 2005, and conflict now is mostly political debate. Terrorism has been around for centuries and is used by the weak to enforce their beliefs. It does not achieve the desired outcome and only leads to death and loss of innocent lives. Terrorists can look like anybody, so they're hard to spot. There are two ways to tackle terrorism. We need to protect ourselves from existing threat, and we need to prevent new threats from arising. Governments use various techniques. Counter-terrorism is proactive and includes monitoring of suspicious groups or individuals. It's effectively spying. It can work, but it's difficult to infiltrate terrorist cells. That's why terrorist leaders like Osama bin Laden have been difficult to capture. Counter-terrorism achieves mixed results and always sparks heated debate about invasion of civil liberties. Governments also use anti-terrorism, which is more about defending citizens in their homeland. Tactics like heavy police presence and visible security cameras are used. In order to stay ahead of terrorist threats, new security technologies are constantly being developed. Iris recognition is more accurate than fingerprinting. There are sprays which can detect explosives. And security experts are even training sniffer bees. Governments need to respond to terrorist violence in a measured way to avoid further escalation. 3,000 people died tragically in the New York Twin Towers on September the 11th, 2001. Following 9/11, the decision was made to invade Iraq to search for weapons of mass destruction which could be used to commit further atrocities and to depose Saddam Hussein, who was believed to be supporting the terrorists. Tens of thousands have died in the Iraq War, and no weapons of mass destruction were ever found. Was the scale and method of intervention justified? Governments need to have better dialogue with terrorists to understand their motives. Some may have legitimate grievances that can be resolved through politics or international law. Our planet is getting increasingly overcrowded, and our resources are depleting. We cannot afford to let existing conflict escalate further. We need to learn to reduce the factors that create global conflict. We need to reduce poverty and encourage fair trade and distribution of resources between countries. We should develop religious tolerance and urgently develop renewable sources of energy before the oil runs out. Education is a major tool in reducing conflict. Terrorists often have little access to anything but propaganda. If they had free access to information, they may find they have much in common with their neighbours. Considering the causes of global conflict, it's naive to think the world will ever be entirely free from it. There are always people hungry for power and resources. But even the largest wars rely on the actions of individuals to perpetrate them. And if individuals can practice conflict resolution, then perhaps the entire world can.